Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Nine. Your host, Matt Minner, here with Pat Ryan, Myrtle Beach, of new face to the podcast. How are you doing today, Mr. Pat?
I'm doing great, Matt. I mean, it's been a good week and good weekend into this week. So, yeah, all is
Awesome.
good.
Traveling back across the country. So the big question everybody wants to know after TPC Scottsdale, how hard was it to get through TSA with the trophy?
Actually, no issues with the trophy. It was just a little weight on the back.
Gotcha.
So threw it in the backpack. No issues. Got it proudly displayed, but it was super nice to carry that through TSA and just a good weekend. Real good battle.
Absolutely. It's certainly first world problems. You got it done, got a one-shot victory held on down the stretch. A lot of fun. I know you were excited when you came in. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the day, your round, as we start to recap a great weekend at TPC Scottsdale?
Yeah, I mean, it's the event was fantastic. I mean, you guys did a great job out there, and like always, just a well-run event. Starting on Champions Course, we had great weather, lots of tee time, so we kind of played in the middle of the day, which is all right. Lots of fluids, lots of water, and everything else. But Champions was fun. Went in the Champions, finished the day tied for second, 3 shots back, and I've been telling Tammy I've had a goal to try and win another major because it's been 5 years since I won my first major. So I was working hard and felt like I had a chance, and just played pretty steady on the stadium course all day long, and held in there, had a timely birdie on number 16. I don't look at the leaderboard when I'm out there playing. I just know I need to I need to beat everybody in my group if I have a chance to do that. But being in the final group, felt pretty good going into 17 and 18, and hung on for a one-shot lead win. So it was pretty exciting. I was pretty happy.
Yeah, and just so you know, I want to bring out a couple things. Number one, you started on our tour in Division 4. I remember from the first year, kind of an average Division 4 player, and then you got more competitive in Division 4. You worked your way all the way up to Division 3, which, by the way, is by far the toughest jump to make on our tour.
Yeah.
And so for you guys to get promoted, here's a success story. And Pat, it can be done. So stay the course. And you beat it. It was a pretty small Division 3 field that you beat at TPC Scottsdale. There was only 53 players in your division?
53 players, yeah.
So
yeah.
Coming out on top, it's got to feel good. Beat some of the absolute top performers in Division 3 across the board. And so one of the things I think I want to know, we'll jump right into it. Those guys that need to make the jump from Division 4 to Division 3, it gets more competitive. The distance goes back. What do you think is kind of the key to figuring out kind of that new metric and get it going in a new division?
Yeah, I mean, it's so my first year, which was 2021, right, with the APT and Jack out of Houston. So I played in Division 4, actually won a couple majors in Division 4, the senior major and the one in San Antonio.
I remember.
And then it was right after Disney, I was promptly promoted in 22. And I will tell you, 22 was a struggle. I mean, it's I think my best finish was like a top 5 finish. A lot of middle of the pack, bottom of the pack. So I just put a focus on trying to get there, and definitely playing longer tees and trying to figure out the game and working at it. And then 23, I started coming around and finally got a couple wins, and that felt really good in D3 to get a couple wins out there, because 22 was a struggle.
No, I totally understand. What do you think is the biggest difference in your game now than your game in 2021 in D4?
I would say, it's really kind of around the greens. For myself, I'm not one of the longer hitters out there, so I really worked on my short game, trying to improve my short game, and start getting a lot of up and downs, and that when you get a par on an up and down long hole, that really makes the difference right there. So, spending time doing that, because as D4, my short game wasn't there. Still hitting about the same distances, but making that change, trying to stay out of trouble. That's
No,
the thing.
100%. I mean, I think the jump from 4 to 3, the biggest thing, obviously, eliminating mistakes. That'll lower your scores at that level quicker than anything else. But it's got to feel good stepping up on 16. I know there was no stadium up, but I know the pin was set in a spot you could get to it. But if you hit it a little bit offline, that back right bunker was lurking. To hit it in there tight when you needed to and make birdie had to feel pretty good. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that one was really exciting. And it's you're out there coming down to the wire, and you need to make a shot. Hit a nice shot about 15 feet right of the pin, and so just a nice, right to left breaking putt, and I made it. And like I say, that one was timely, and it just like really got the juices going. So it was pretty interesting. Amped it up for sure.
No, absolutely. Well, how did it feel on 18T staring down that lake down the left side?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm sitting there. I mean, I was feeling pretty good. I'm like, I just wanted to get a good tee shot out there. I kept it safe. It was just short of the bunker on the right. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to just, the pin was pretty, if you were short, you were in pretty good shape. I actually took one less club intending to be short. And I think I just had, the juices were flowing, and they say that. And I laced one down there, and I ended up on the bunker on the left, and unfortunately didn't have a good play, but got down and, to save it. And so it was good.
A win's a win, buddy. That's how it works.
Yep.
Especially against 53 guys in D3. Super
Yeah.
impressive. Chris keeps pointing out in the chat. I got to point out that you're a former chapter owner. You're probably the first chapter owner under duress. Something like that. Duress might not be the right word, but I remember the conversation going something. You said, "Hey, if you have trouble, in Houston finding somebody, give me a call, let me know." And I said, "Okay, perfect." Thinking that like, "Oh, that's great, Pat. I appreciate the offer. I'm sure it's all going to work out." And to only 6 weeks later to call you and be like, "Hey, Pat." And so you've got a unique perspective because you've been a chapter owner. You've since obviously retired, moved to Myrtle Beach, become a player again. Anything you want to share with the people, because you can kind of see both perspectives, and anything you want to share?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I stepped into that after Jack had left, and a little bit behind the gun, trying to get some events. But it was good. A lot of support from the national group, you and Chris and Ali for sure. We got like 11 events scheduled pretty quick, and finals as well. What I'll say is, from a perspective, we got a lot of players, and it's great to be out there, great to be a player. Behind the scenes, I don't think anybody realizes how much goes on, with the tournament, getting out there to get the tee. Not only are you getting it registered, getting people into the event and setting up the tees, but the day of event, thankfully Tammy was there to help out, and she was awesome to do the registrations, going up and setting the tees up in the mornings. You're getting there early and doing all that stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody has a lot of fun and really appreciates it. And I tell you, that was that's rewarding. They all come in and tell you how much they appreciate it and how much fun they had. And APT does it right. I mean, I've heard that time and time again compared to other tours out there. And you guys do, we do. It's all about the players. So that's what I mean. So it's definitely a unique perspective out there dealing with all that.
Yeah, no, I always make fun of Chris, but Chris does a really good job, especially the majors getting set up. And it's kind of funny when we travel in and I don't have access to the car, or Chris is relying on me for the car, and we're, and I'm like, hey man, what time do you want to be at the golf course? He's like, we'll leave at 4:45.
Yep.
And we're literally in the parking lot of the golf course, and just the commitment he has, and we appreciate it. But yeah, we'll recap the other Teepsy Scots. I have a Division III winner, Pat Ryan. Real quick, Division I, Houston guy, so a little bit of connection to you there, Pat. Mark Young shot a cool little 3-under, so pretty solid. You got to mention this, the Worldwide Golf Cactus Clash. Great tee gift from our friends at Worldwide Golf. They had some special offers at their stores in the Valley. Really appreciate the partnership with those guys as our presenting sponsor. Division II, jumping straight in, playoff. So it's probably good that we talk about this before we get Facero on, because I know they're rivals a little bit. So we may ask him about this a little bit. But Kurt Bresner from Phoenix, great guy, seeking his first national major win, went to a playoff. Really cool finish. Finished on the 17th hole, the front left, historical pin on 17, played a role in it. It was one of those, you could go after it, but there was lots and lots of trouble if you missed it all. But he reigned victorious in that playoff, which was fun to watch. Division III, obviously, Pat Ryan, Myrtle Beach, coming across the country, taking the trophy. Division IV, we had another playoff. Trenton Smith from Utah got it done over Dolly Buenaventura. First playoff hole on number 1. Very competitive division in Division IV. They both finished at 24 over par. 81-85 was the split for Trenton. And then Division V, another first-time major winner, Mitch McDonald from Atlanta. So that was fun to watch as well. His totals 85 and 100 on the second day. Teepsy Scottsdale Stadium course was playing tough, but he got a 1-shot victory over Matt Walden of Georgia, 2 shots over Arthur Miller, who's with us tonight, so we'll get to ask him a little bit about that. Open net was won at 5 under par by Trenton Smith. Solid runner-up. It went Utah, 1, 2, 3 in open net. I don't have a joke for our friend Dennis McGraw there, but 2 under for Tyler, even for Mr. Jeff Clifford in third. And senior net was won by Dolly Buenaventura, who just edged you out, Pat, by 1. So you finished at 7 under, you were at 6. And then Steve Wallace from Phoenix in third at -3. And Mr. Jody Barrett got 4th. If I don't mention that, he'll make fun of me. So it was a good time.
Yeah. Dolly really deserved that. I mean, she came in. I was sitting in pretty good position, and she finished out birdie, bogey, birdie to take it away. So she absolutely deserved that, and so congrats to her. That was pretty exciting.
And talk about a golf course that is not set up for ladies. I mean, those ladies had to grind this weekend quite a bit. Some of these PGA Tour courses are extremely long. Some of the holes like 14, the ladies' tees like 409. Like, come get you all you want in a golf course from some of those, and so definitely shows a lot of class to grind it out like she did as well. Well, we're going to bring you back on for hole 3, Pat, but I'm going to bring on our good friend Jeff Facero from Phoenix. He probably had the most adventuresome of all of the weekends. How are you doing, Jeff?
What's that?
I said, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing good. Good. Just out here enjoying the heat. You guys left and it warmed up even a little bit more.
Yeah, I was going to say, I spent Monday with my wife in Phoenix, and we were walking around, and it was way worse than it was the weekend. It was hot.
Well, if you're walking around where the concrete is, it's terrible.
It was. So, it was a balmy 109 on Monday. So It was
It was.
it was
Let's
rough.
see what I do. I went out and hit golf balls on Monday for a little while, and then I played. What is the day? What is today? Thursday. I played 9 holes yesterday afternoon.
Whew.
Yeah, but I got around the course in an hour and 10 minutes, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm sure
No.
when it's 109 in the afternoon in Phoenix, it's probably pretty easy to sneak around
Yeah.
and play some golf.
Yeah.
This
Well,
time.
I went out like at noon, so it hadn't got to the peak yet.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. So, but a lot of good golf, man. I got to say that being out that week and getting to play a couple rounds early, really enjoyed the Ambiente course at Camelback.
Yeah, it's a good course.
I thought that was a lot of fun. You know, a golf course that's literally just kind of built in a wash between neighborhoods. Really
Yes.
good layout, a lot of fun. Eagle Mountain's always a great time. Really fun layout, a lot of great views up there. And so it was a good week, and appreciate you guys being gracious hosts to us.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad it's out here. I mean, I don't travel a lot for the majors. I am going into Illinois this weekend to play in another one. But you know, it's my second year on it. I'm not really sure still wasn't sure how everything worked out, but I'm starting to catch on, and I'll probably do a few more majors next year.
Cool. Well, we love having you, and you know, you accomplished something that I've got to be honest, in 5 years has only happened one other time, and that's
There's been one of those before.
There's been one other before. So a D5 guy hit it. Somebody in the chat will have to check my history, but I can't remember if it was an Atlanta event or a Birmingham event. But
Okay.
hit a hole in one on a par 4. So definitely the longest yardage of any par 4 that has been hit on, because you guys played at what, 290?
I think it was 287 is what they told me.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Which is kind of funny because I'm sitting here watching the U.S. Open, and they got that par 3 that's playing 277 today. And they could stretch it out to 290 if they wanted to. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's funny. So Jody actually, kid from Jody's club at Greystone, plays for Ole Miss and qualified for the Open today. And so Jody's been talking to him, and he, to his credit, like the grit on this kid, I think he was 7 over through 4 holes this morning at Oakmont and finished with 80. So
that's good.
Wrote the ship through, but like, welcome to the U.S. Open. And you know,
that's Ole Miss. That's where I went.
Really?
For
I did not
year.
know that.
Then I got drafted.
Gotcha. Have you had that conversation with Mr. Jody yet? He probably already knows.
He knows. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, he's the craziest Ole Miss fan I've ever met in my entire life. So if you hang out with him at all, it doesn't matter what sport, if it can be watched, he's watching it on his phone. So, so you, besides playing obviously golf, the APT, hole in one on a par 4, we'll get back to that. You had a pretty long and successful career in the majors. I knew of you because I'm a huge Cardinal fan, which is one of your stops. So why don't you talk a little bit about where you got to play in the show? And
well, I mean, ultimately I played for 9 teams. Originally I got drafted by the Cardinals, never made it to the big leagues with them. I made it to the big leagues originally with Montreal, and spent basically 6 years in Montreal, and then got traded to Seattle. Was there for 2.5 years of a 3-year deal. Got traded during that one to Texas. I finished the season in Texas, and then I signed a year with Boston. Then after that, I signed a 2-year deal with Cubs. Got traded to St. Louis halfway through the second year, so I finished half a season in St. Louis and another season in St. Louis. Then what I do, I went to sign a year of Colorado, then got released with like 20 days left in the season, picked up by Arizona, played there for 7 whole days, and then I finished my career 2 years in San Francisco.
Nice.
And I'm glad I found the turn because it gives me what I need. It's competition. You know, that's why I like playing out there in these golf tournaments.
No, absolutely. So, I mean, what was the golf schedule like back in the big league days?
When I was starting, it was easy. I could play day after. I would play like 3 days if I had the opportunity to. Depending on the road, it was easier. When I was home, it wasn't because of the kids.
Right.
But I would play on the road, 2-3 times in each city, depending on when I was pitching. I never played the day before I pitched. It was always like the day after or the next couple days after. And when I was in the bullpen, I picked my spots depending on who was starting and go out and play in the morning.
Right.
I was never one of the guys that went out and stayed out late. So I would go in, I'd go to sleep, I'd get up 6 o'clock, go play golf, get back, take a nap for an hour or two, and then go to the ballpark. So, but it was picking your spots, knowing who's pitching and what the odds of there being left-handers in the lineups or, and things like that.
Yeah, no, that makes the strategy of that is always interesting. So, I got to ask, as a baseball fan, if I didn't, my wife would yell at me. What was your favorite ballpark you ever pitched in?
It's really hard to say what your favorite ballpark is. My most success was in the old San Diego Stadium. So obviously, anytime I went in there, that's a big hit.
Right.
Going into Yankee Stadium, going into Wrigley Field, going into Boston, and going into Tiger Stadium, the original one.
Yep.
Those are all kind of cool. That's like, you're going into really historic type ballparks, and those were awesome to go into. It's easier to say stadiums I didn't like because I thought they were trash. Cincinnati's, the first one was terrible.
Well, as a Cardinal fan, I'm okay with you hating on Cincinnati. So
yeah, Pittsburgh's original stadium was a dump. Philadelphia's was a dump.
I'm going to get emails because of this conversation now.
I always loved Busch Stadium. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up, and that's where I went to watch games anyway.
Right.
Because I grew up a Cardinal fan too. Haven't seen the new one yet, so I can't comment on it.
They're home next weekend.
Yeah, I would say the worst stadium I ever went to though was Milwaukee's their county stadium before they built the new one. Oh,
yeah,
they didn't even have enough lockers for people to have their own. You had to share them.
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Here's your
Detroit
locker.
Detroit actually was kind of the same, but there's more history behind their stadium.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes a lot of cool things from back in the day. But it's kind of interesting as we get into the some of the majors that we go to and some of the places. I wonder how it kind of compares the same way when you're playing a golf tournament. Like, for example, this year we went to Torrey Pines, and I'm watching people before the round. They're standing behind 18 green, and they're just staring at that spot that Tiger made the putt. To get into the playoff in 08, or the bear trap at PGA National a couple weeks ago, or 16 at TPC Scottsdale. Looking at the plaque, and you get to stand where Tiger. What kind of comparisons do you see, and what do you look for in your tour experience?
I like to go play the different courses. That's one thing, because like I belong to a country club here in Arizona, so I don't really venture out even very much here in town to play. It's basically because if I'm playing for my country club, I don't need to go pay in the wintertime $300 to play some of these courses. I'll go when the weather's decent here. Like I'll go out and play some of the courses because we have some really good courses. But I like the thought of being able to travel. Like last year I did, because I came from Central Illinois, I went and played in that Decatur tournament.
Yep.
And it's fun just to go because it's completely different golf. I mean, TPC, the Champions course is kind of a desert course. The stadium course, their fairways are kind of big, so really the desert doesn't come into play unless you're really bad off the tees. Right. But they're two different kinds of courses. And like when I go back to the Midwest and play those courses, or even like last year when I was down in Myrtle Beach, it's just you get grass all over the place. So you feel like the fairways are 9 miles wide. Here you just kind of have to aim, tunnel vision it a little bit more.
No, absolutely, and it's certainly interesting. And as we continue to talk and get ready, we're going to talk about the North American Championship next. It's one of the reasons we're continuing to move it around the country. The guys in the Southeast have got lucky the last couple of years. Jeff, I don't want to speak for you, but I can, as a Midwestern boy, I don't like hitting off of tight Bermuda rough, trying to hit chip shots. It's never worked out well for me.
Yeah.
You get down into, you're the Southwest in September or Midwest in September. It's completely different shots. And so as we continue to go this year, obviously it's moving to Orlando. But we'll continue to move around the country. It kind of gives everybody a little bit of a home field advantage. And it's kind of fun to watch. Full disclosure though, for everybody, if you hit a hole in one on the par 4 and you're in the hole in one club, you do get paid. So Jeff hasn't got everything yet, but he will testify to that at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
Hey, it's a special part of the hole in one club too. There's only 2 people in it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's not a whole lot of people in the whole world that are really in a hole in one on par 4.
Yeah, when you have to hit driver. So
yeah.
But if you were the USGA at the US Open this week, it would have been a good hole in one on a par 3. So
yeah, it would have been. Yes, it would have been. I think there's only 2 birdies on that hole today.
Oh, just absolutely brutal, man.
Yeah.
A brutal golf course setup. So tell me a little bit about how you found it. So my understanding is you guys didn't see it go in. So walk me through kind of those moments.
Who was it? Forget who, one of them was watching it through their rangefinder just to see where our balls were going, and he watched it. When I hit it, he goes, "Oh, that's really good. That's curving right into the front of the green." He goes, "Oh, it hit just in front of the green," and then he goes, "It's on the green," and he just took his rangefinder out, so he didn't even watch it roll into the hole.
Oh.
So when he goes, I saw it hit on the green. I saw it rolling on the green. I thought when we got up there and I didn't see the ball, first thing I thought was it rolled over, and I knew what was behind it. Just a steep hill down into the mud.
Right.
So we would go back there, we'd look around down there, and there's no ball, not even on the edge of the, can't see anything. So I just walk back up and I just go, I'm just going to go take a look in the hole. And looking, staring down was a Titleist 4 right at my face.
That's awesome.
This is awesome.
So,
and I think I disrupted a shot or 2 on the next hole.
It happens completely acceptable.
Nothing you expect. And no. I mean, even to get a hole in one on par 4 that's that length as an amateur is complete luck. There's no skill in it.
Yeah, but there's a whole heck of a lot of people that wish they were you, my friends.
Yeah.
So it's going to be it's certainly quite the accomplishment and something hopefully you'll be able to remember for a long time and enjoy.
Oh, I will. I mean, I got that pennant from them, and I had all the guys in my group sign it, which is good. I just have to get somebody with really good penmanship to write down the date, the distance, and all that on the bottom of it, because that is not me.
Yeah, I said don't ask Chris or I for that. That is not our skill either. But
yeah.
I'm sure there's a golf course pro that took calligraphy somewhere that can.
Oh, that's a good idea. I could take that to the club. They do a very good job with that.
So it is an art. I used to be good at it, not anymore. But want to bring Pat back in. We're going to talk North American Championship as well. National Player of the Year. Pat is the reigning Division III National Senior Player of the Year. And now that he won, he's coming back to defend, guys. So get ready. But it's kind of funny when we ask these because people text me like, you talk to these people and you know what they're going to say before they come on. I have no idea. But I know, Jeff, you came to both the Senior North American Championship in Myrtle Beach.
Yes.
First time. Why don't you give us a little bit about your experience?
I enjoyed it. I mean, the competition's great. I mean, you're playing against the best players that are in the APT. So you know, I was a little disappointed in my senior play, but very happy with the regular play. I mean, I finished third. Um, had one hole that really kind of blew me up that first day in the Division Two, and I kind of think I had a hole that blew me up in the senior division too. That par five that I butchered, taking a 10. But I love it. The competition. I just love the competition. I mean, my whole life's just been competition. So getting to do that, I look forward to it. I know that I won a senior event here, so I qualified for the senior part of it this year.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out what I got to do to qualify for the.
Well,
Division
if you finish third, you're already in, buddy. So
last year.
Last year's top three gets an invite to this year.
Okay.
So you'll get the invites. They'll come out on July 9th. Registration will open up early for those that get the early invite. But yeah, man, top five, you're in for the next year. So
okay.
Just
Perfect.
makes it easy. So
yeah,
obviously don't stop playing, don't stop grinding out there in Phoenix.
I won't.
I know you've been chasing Presner down.
I want to win one of these. Yeah, he plays in all the majors. I don't travel as much as he does. Like the couple of them I wanted to get into, I didn't know. Like I missed registration. I just learned that you got to, like, if you see when the opening day is, you got to get in that day.
Yeah, it's
especially the one in Utah.
Yeah, I can't believe how fast that one sells out in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
It's certainly a problem, but it's a good problem, and it's a problem we're thankful to have. There's so many people trying to get in, so we're trying to figure out obviously how to create more opportunities for everybody that wants to play to have the opportunity to play. And but Orlando is going to be fun. North American's 3 days at Reunion, and then the senior take a day off, and then the senior will be back-to-back days at Reunion. So everything's on Reunion Resort. Great hotel, some great restaurants on property. Lots of things to do right outside the resort. It's going to be a really, really fun time. Orlando, if you've not been, is a great spot to take your family. Reunion's maybe 15 minutes from Disney World.
Does Reunion have 2 hotels on the property?
Yeah, so they've got one big major hotel where the lobby is and the pro shop for 2 of the 3 golf courses are, and then it's a ton of like condo units, and so we have access to both. There's a ton of housing, and there's also a huge housing rental market as well. I know one of Pat's chapter owners got a huge house on the 14th hole, one of the golf courses, and so they're already planning, what signage is going to be up there and what's going to be offered for the players as they drive by, and maybe one of the great secrets of this year's North American Championship, to find the best snacks, you got to know where the Myrtle Beach house is or something like that.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. There's a lot of great places around there, and Reunion was real nice. I didn't play well there, but I'm going to change that when it comes to the Senior National Championship for sure.
There you go. I love it. So what I want to know from you, Pat, obviously reigning National Senior Player of the Year, one of the things that's most memorable to me, obviously through the years, I've got to know your wonderful wife because she walks around every tournament. And so we've gotten to know and become great friends with y'all. But you definitely knew where you stood in the points race going into that final round. And so how did you manage the pressure as a guy that doesn't like to look at the leaderboard?
I'll tell you, the first day I didn't play as well. I had been playing pretty good before the national championship last year, and then it just like I don't know if the wheels fell off or I slept too long. I don't know what it was, but so that last day I knew it was I needed to finish in a good spot, grind away. And I tell you, I just buckled down and just took every shot seriously and kept grinding. I was pretty worried that I was going to let that slip away because I had won a few senior tournaments early in the year, so I had some points all along. And but I just ground away and wanted to get that, and I did. So I was super happy about that.
Yeah,
Super
no,
happy.
it was so much fun, Jeff. Like, I'm trying not to make fun of him a little bit, but literally we're sitting in waiting for scoring coming in the last day, and his wife comes in, and his wife and my wife are great friends, and like every hole that posts, she's redone the points calculation. Like she had it down. She knew exactly where, like way more than I did. I'm like, I hope she's right because I have no idea. I'm just going to click the button and it's going to calculate. It's going to be that. But, I mean, she had the whole thing figured out. I was super impressed.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I mean I didn't do good enough the first day, and I told Tammy, I said, I think I let this go. I'm not gonna get there. So she actually didn't go walking around that day. She's like, well, if you're not gonna win it, I'm not gonna even go walking around because we're here in Myrtle Beach, and thankfully I put together a pretty good round on the second day there to get it. So I was pretty happy.
No, absolutely. Well, it was fun to watch. It's fun to watch you guys compete.
Yeah.
You know, this year's North American Championship is going to be a blast. Competitive fields. We're hearing a lot of hype around it. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff. We're going to be able to do a lot because once again, it's all in the same resort. So we'll have events at night, different things to do. And it's just going to be a great time. So like I said, we talked with Jeff. If you have a priority exemption, July 9th, early registration will start. You'll get an invitation via email when registration's open. May want to check the regular mail too. We like to send some of that stuff out as well. You can earn priority exemption by, winning North American Championship, Senior North American Championship, National Player of the Year are exempt if you win a major in the last 2 years. If you finish in the top 5 in your division last year of the North American, or the top 3 in your senior, you get an invite as well. Plus, everything will be based on point standings as of July, the conclusion of play on July 8th. And so depending on how large your chapter is, you can read about this in the member manual. Let Chris post the link. There's 4 different tiers based on the size of your chapter. I think the top tier gets up to I should not be quoting this live without looking at it. But you get more spots. The larger your chapter is, the more spots that you guys get allocated. So, and so lots of ways to get in. It is first come, first serve. Registration is going to open up to all members that meet the eligibility requirements on July 31st on the live. It's a Thursday night. And we'll get ready to have a fun way to close out the season. And it's going to be a great time. Jeff, Pat, I appreciate you guys coming on tonight, sharing your stories. Jeff, congrats on the hole-in-one.
Thank you.
So exciting. It was so fun to watch and see.
Yeah, congrats.
Face.
Thank you, Pat.
Yep.
So,
okay.
And Pat, thanks for stopping in and being my de facto co-host for the first part of this. But we got a lot coming up. We got Arthur Miller from Memphis here. We've got John Lambert waiting backstage. We got some more topics to cover. But stay tuned. We got a message from 2 Under. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in a second.
Cheers.
2 Under. Quality fabrics, no roll waistband, Joey pouch, elevate and separate, no chafing. What more could you ask for?
Arthur Miller.
What's going on, man?
Chris almost didn't get that in the chat that you were going to be on first until you were right there.
Well, I was prepared. It says to be prepared, so I was trying to be prepared.
There you go. I'm super, super proud of you. So for those that don't know, Arthur Miller from Memphis, chapter owner from Memphis, host of Burning the Edge podcast.
Sort of.
What?
Sort of.
Sort of?
Yeah,
Hey, I got your merch,
posted
man.
anything in a while, man. It's too busy, too much going on everywhere.
Yeah. Well, you're a Memphis man. It's all good.
Right.
How are things going down there for you?
Things are going well, man. We got an event coming up Saturday. We got close to our sold out number, but we got a good event coming up Saturday. So hopefully the rain kind of lets us play. We'll see how it goes.
I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at the forecast this week. That's how you know that I'm busy, is when I haven't looked at the forecast and it's Thursday.
Yeah. Well, you did just leave Phoenix too, you know. You didn't have
Phoenix, you don't have to look at the forecast. You're just
not at all.
in June, it's the first number is going to be a 1. The
Right.
question is the second number a 0 or is it a 1? If it's a 0,
Right.
you're good. If the second number is a 1, it's going to be a rough day.
You know, really, I was like, man, this is not that bad. I was like, if it was 100 in Memphis, you couldn't breathe. Like you wouldn't make it through 18 holes out here if it was 100 degrees.
Yeah, no chance. Not a chance.
Not at all.
So I thought, I'll be honest, I felt like it was hotter in Florida in the low 90s at PGA National than it was in Phoenix at 104.
I would probably say the same thing. I didn't get a chance to get down to Florida, but I've been in Florida before in June, and I mean, it's if it gets to 100, it's gonna be hot. You know,
Right.
I just don't understand how you deal with that humidity in 100 degrees. But you know, the golfers, we love it. You know, you just got to get out there and play either way.
No, 100%. Well, why don't you talk a little bit about your experience as a player? We've been seeing you all over the country this year. So where's your favorite place to go on APT? I already know the answer to this.
You know the answer to this. You know what? I used to think like Matt got a top 10 that's really like a top 25, you know. But I'm starting to understand it exactly, you know, because for me, Omni is top 3 for sure. I played French Lick last year. Both of those courses, those are my top 3 that I played. But I mean, like TPC Scottsdale was fun, you know, and getting to see hole 16 without all the bleachers and stuff, like it looked like a totally different hole. Like, I was like, you wouldn't recognize the place. You know, I had to take a video and turn around and to show to my friends and stuff because I was like, man, you would not recognize it. You would think it was somewhere else. You know, you just wouldn't tell. Couldn't be able to tell. You know.
What I think is crazy is how compact everything is on the whole, you know, the whole property. I thought the same thing about PGA National, the Bear Trap. Like the Bear Trap, you think is like all spread out. Right. I mean, they're right on top of each other.
Really?
But you throw the stands up and how they you know make the stadium feel, and you don't realize how close everything is.
Right.
Which has got to be so much fun at the Waste Management. Can you imagine somebody making birdie on 16, chasing down a guy that's on 13 green, hitting a birdie putt?
Right.
I mean, you're going, oh no, what is this? I mean, you're gonna feel like somebody's chasing you the whole time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I just, you know, you just looking at it on TV, you think everything is just so much room, but it's not. You know, like everything is like right there. You know, like even where the tunnel was, I was like, dang. How did they, you know, like it just looks totally different on TV, you know, but it was a great experience though, no lie. I would definitely go back. I don't know what I'm gonna have to start collecting cans or something to pay for all these places I'm gonna be going next year or something, because I'm going, you know, either way I got to get there, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We've been working hard on the 26 schedule. Nothing ready to announce yet. I'm not gonna freak out, Phil, on the live tonight.
Let's make them sweat a little bit. We can make them sweat.
I will tell you this. I just added a brand new PGA Tour venue 8 weeks before the tournament.
Oh, wow.
So schedule just got better, boys. It's going to be awesome. So can't tell you where. You got a 1 in 40 chance to get it right. Really 1 in 35 because we haven't been there yet.
Right. It's going to be fun either way. I mean, like, I'm hoping we get back to Omni for sure. And I'm not missing French Lick. You know, French Lick I'm going.
I can make your night about Bedford Springs. I've literally signed a contract with them through 2028.
That is awesome. Well, you know, well, I'm trying to get the little greenhouse on the course. The guy canceled me this year, but I'm gonna try to get it next year.
There we go.
There's a green little Airbnb over there. I can't remember what hole it is. I think it's about one of the par 5s.
Off of 17 there.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it. Yeah.
There you go.
Either way, it's fun. The hotel was pretty cool too, though. You know, so.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I hear we got a special guest to tune in, so we might as well just bring him in if he's in.
Jay.
He made it.
We got West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee covered. We just need some mountain people from East Tennessee.
So, well,
where's Nathan?
Fraser's in the chat. So,
yeah, come on, Nathan, let's go.
So I'm letting you take over, man. You're the guest of the hour now.
Well, I mean, it's hard to take over when you come in late in the middle of a conversation.
No, you're good. We'll
It's kind of
keep
what I
going.
do best, though.
I mean, it is one of the skills required of your part-time job.
I just want to know how many edges Arthur burned in Phoenix.
Oh my God, it's terrible, man. You say that, man, I can't think of his name, but I played with him on the second day. I burned so many edges in at Bedford. The guy, he bought me dinner. We ended up at the same place, and he was there with a couple other guys, and they left. And the guy, when the server asked him for the bill, and he said the other guy paid for it. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he paid already for your meal. I was like, okay. So when I saw him this in Scottsdale, I had to get him back. Every time he came to the bar, I was sitting at the bar. I say every time he came, I said, look, whatever he's drinking, whatever he's eating, it's on me or whatever, you know. But that's how many edges I burned down there. I burned quite a few at Scottsdale, though. I ain't gonna lie. It's
All right.
just what I do right there.
Here's what what everybody's got to know. The burning question. You're from Memphis.
Right.
So in Memphis, we know a little bit about humidity and what heat feels like. I got to know about this dry heat.
Hey, it doesn't compare. I can tell you that. You know, I was telling Matt, 100 degrees in Memphis, man, you would die. Like you can't hardly go to the mailbox in 100 degrees here. Like you walk out the door and you are soaking wet. I'm gonna tell you a funny thing happened to me when I got back at the airport. It took me an hour to find my truck. And
oh my gosh.
Soaking wet. And
so
it
hot.
wasn't even sunny outside. It was just from the heat, from the humidity. It was like
Right.
80 degrees, 85 degrees, and I was soaking wet.
Like to breathe.
Unreal.
We like to breathe our air in the South with a straw and a spoon.
It's totally different from the desert. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you know, it was hot, particularly if you were one of the late tea times and got off in the afternoon and, 2, 3 o'clock, it got pretty warm. But that's also when the wind started picking up a little bit, and it gave you a little bit of a reprieve. It really wasn't that bad. And they were, they had water stations every 3 holes with, ice and water and all that. So it was actually, we had much fewer medical issues this week than we did in South Florida.
I would imagine so.
That is
South Florida, that humidity, it got to some of those folks. Especially, we had a fella from Utah that, he's used to playing at altitude and in that high desert, dry, low humidity, and that South Florida stank got on him, got him bad.
Yeah, is it true what I heard? Somebody told me that he did. They tried to give him some water, and he was like, I'm okay.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, look, man, heat stroke's no joke.
No.
When you start going down the rabbit hole and that dark spiral starts sucking you in, it's too late at that point. There's no way to pull the nose of that plane up. So I encourage everybody that's playing anywhere in the APT for the next several months, when it's hot and if you start feeling bad, you need to take that seriously.
You better.
No
doubt.
1,000%. But I want to bring in Lambert. We got Lambert here from Virginia Capital. Let's get him into the conversation.
They know something about a little humidity over there too.
Yeah.
So how are you doing, Mr. John?
Pretty good, man. Speaking of humidity, it's a little humid today. Starting to trend that way. We've been spoiled up until now, so starting to trend humid.
Yeah. Well, you've got some pretty good events coming up. Why don't you share a couple events on the schedule that we need to get out east to Virginia to play this summer?
Well, we actually threw one on the calendars, kind of threw a dart next Thursday because it's federal holiday, June 19th. And that's still open till tomorrow night. And it's a Thursday event. So if anybody has a little free time, wants to come up to Virginia. But our big target is Kingsmill. We're playing Kingsmill in July 12th and 13th. It's the Kingsmill Birthday Bash. And it's called the Birthday Bash because my birthday is July 11th. So I always pick something I want to play. and it is a double shotgun both days. So we're playing the plantation and the river course. And if you're not familiar with the river course, the guys played it years ago, quite a few years ago, Anheuser-Busch Classic, and the ladies have played there. And the rumor is they're coming back to Kings Mill. They lost their sponsor, and they're coming back. They like it there, but can't play it without the sponsor. So that's July 12th and 13th. It is a elevated event. And then coming back in, we have a Saturday, Sunday, Monday between us and Maryland coming up probably the weekend after. We're playing a local community course. It's really cool. It's called Hobbs Hole. And then it's about 30-minute drive to Maurice's Swan Point event. And then we're back at Fawn Lake, which is a gated Arnold Palmer. And then August, we got two one-day events with Jody's favorite designer, August 23rd and 24th. We're going to do a little Mike Strand's Classic between Stonehouse and Royal New Kent. And if you've never played Royal New Kent, very, very unique golf course. It's big Irish theme, and he did a really good job on that. I've been to Ireland, and for a Virginia twist on Ireland, it's pretty dang good. So
Awesome.
that's pretty much what running ours, and we've had some good events so far this year, and we're still rolling and gearing up heading toward the finish line.
But if you're not familiar with the name Mike Strantz, you might know Tobacco Road or Caledonian True Blue or Tot Hill Farm. So same guy. So you could expect to see some of those same unique characteristics and features at Royal New Kent.
Royal New Kent is a whole lot of blind golf shots. It's
that's very Irish.
Yep, it is a lot of blind shots. I mean, it is a cool course though. It really is. It's one of those you play it once, you want to come back. What's pretty interesting is one of my members, I think he's on tonight, Buzz. Everybody knows Big Buzz. He's actually had a albatross on hole 10, and which is pretty tough. And then he's had a hole in one on hole 7. So that's like his favorite course, obviously. So he's
so about with Kingsmill. There's a lot to do in that area off the golf
Absolutely.
course. Is that a place that would be good for bringing a spouse or family and go spend some extra time over in that area? What else is there? I know there's Colonial Williamsburg.
You got Colonial Williamsburg. You actually have Busch Gardens, the old country, and you have Water Country USA right there. And, you've got quite a few outlet malls right there. It's a really good place to bring family. And both days are early shotguns. I think one day we're shotgunning at 8:30, and other day we're shotgunning at 9. So plenty of time to spend the afternoon with the families. And that's kind of why we try to.
A lot more to do for your wife out there than somewhere in East Texas, right?
Yes, absolutely. and if you really want to ride to the beach, you're about an hour 15 from Virginia Beach. So, I've had some people do that. Say, hey, we're going to ride to the beach, and that's depending on traffic too. But
Jody, but I said it was a resort.
Well,
hey, if you use the name resort, then there's certain level of expectation.
Well, Kings Mill is a nice resort. If you want to stay on property, it's there. Little on the high side, but it's that time of year. They do a good job at Colonial Williamsburg with the reenactment. Phil's come up to Williamsburg a couple times with us, and we actually went last time he was up to one of the dining experiences there in Colonial Williamsburg with the costume characters and stuff, and it was really fun. We had a good time. And
but you mentioned going to the beach an hour and 15 minutes away. I mean, if you really want to have some excitement, you just go hang out at the local Navy bars. And you really get into something down there.
Well, Norfolk's a cute little town. I mean, it's not too far away, but it's the finishing holes at Kings Mill are pretty cool. They're right there on the James River, and you come across 16 and you see the river in the background, and 17 par 3s right on the river. So it's good finishing, a lot of fun. good course, good golf course.
Yeah. Well, Jody, I think it's time we maybe let the cat out of the bag for the first fall major of 2025. Since it's in,
Oh, you're gonna have to drive that train. You've been working hard on.
I will
this
drive
done.
that train, but I'm excited about this one since it's coming to Virginia, the first major that we've done in Virginia. It is going to be at the Omni Homestead, October 20th and 21st. It's a Monday, Tuesday event. We've got discounted rates on Sunday to play golf if you're coming in. We've got great deals on the hotel if you want to stay. Not required to stay, but we bringing your wife to the homestead in October in Virginia.
Terrible time of year to go to the mountains.
It will be
Virginia.
absolutely perfect and gorgeous there. And I will tell you from a golf perspective, they are hosting a USGA National Championship 2 weeks before we're there.
Hey, Matt, are you playing both courses?
We're playing both courses.
Well, I will tell you this. I have played there, and the old course is unique. It has the oldest continuous use tee in the United States, whatever that means. But it is also unique from the fact that they have 6 par 4s, 6 par 3s, and 6 par 5s.
Nice.
And it actually tips out. The guys are going to hate it when you make them play the tips, but I think it tips out about 6,100 yards. But don't sleep on it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great, man.
I mean, it's really not a very long course, but you better be a shot maker.
Yeah, it's going to be limited field, 100 players that time of year in the fall. But it's going to be a very worthy venue to kick off the 2026 campaign, another A-plus venue to kick off the year.
Hey, Matt, before that event, can we get Steve Daniels on as a guest to tell us about building that team?
Man,
I think Tony actually qualified for his U.S. Senior Open, or it was one of the qualifying spots, was the Cascades course, if I remember right.
That's correct.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, great history in championship golf. Fantastic venue. My favorite thing is when you talk to the Homestead people, they call Omni Bedford Springs their little brother.
Ooh.
I just told Arthur, and I'm like, dude, don't say that. That's disrespectful.
Arthur, it is their little brother, because when you play the Cascades, you need to come up, man. You'll be blown away.
Okay.
So,
All right. I'm gonna be there. I'm just gonna. They've issued the challenge.
so
it's good.
Hey, come on, Arthur. Just come to Dixon. You can ride with me the
That
rest.
sounds like a plan.
So,
Hey, you don't listen to NPR all the way there, do you?
No, sir.
As long as you don't do that,
Absolutely
then
not.
we cool.
Jody listens.
I'll throw in some really good bluegrass music to make you feel at home.
That
Gus just looked it up. He said,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
6,100 yards.
You might want Jody to listen to a podcast when you hear what's on the
Right.
playlist on his phone.
Yeah, we can listen to the 48 Hours podcast or something, man. Not
So
we'll get something. We'll get something good. We'll get Sean Ryan podcast going about 4 hours talking about cloud seeding and contrails. It'd be awesome.
so
anything but the bluegrass.
So my favorite was when we threw Jersey in the truck to go down with Chris and I to Dancing Rabbit last year. And, if you've ridden with Chris, he'll listen to the Joe Rogan podcast for like 12 hours straight. He'll get 3 episodes in without stopping. And which is great for me because I can just work and tune it out. Poor Jersey's in the back. So we're getting ready to go. I'm like, Chris, we have a rule for Jersey. For every Joe Rogan podcast you make her listen to, you have to listen to a Call Her Daddy podcast on the way back. And we listened to 2. And one of them was good and one of them was not.
That's about what I would expect the average to be.
It killed my celebrity crush of Anna Kendrick. I was like, it ruined it for me. No more.
That's too bad.
It is disappointing, to say the least. But lots of things going on. Like I said, opening of 2026. if you're marking your calendars, October 20th and 21st, Monday, Tuesday, the Homestead, Hot Springs, Virginia, playing both Old Course, the Cascades course. Going to be awesome. We can go ahead and give him the second one. I'm not going to give him the November one yet because that's no fun. But we'll give you the one that's a staple on our tour. That's the 200 Myrtle Beach Holiday Classic, December 13th and 14th. That's at True Blue in Caledonia. What a great place to end the year. Every year we're going to be back there. So if you're looking for fall majors, there's 2 of them. There is another one coming though, so stay tuned. We'll get the save the dates out on all of those. 2026 is going to be a good year.
Hey Matt, I also want to plug one of our fall events. Is
Please do.
the only course I've seen that I think Matt Mender shot 79 and never made a par on it.
Oh, I'm so coming to that. Give me the date. I will be on a plane.
It is it's the weekend after Omni Bedford Spring. Omni Homestead. It's gonna be October 26th at Cutalong. And Matt did shoot 79 there last year and did not make a par. So figure that one out.
That's a fun golf course.
6 birdies.
I burned some edges like Arthur Miller at that place, including a horseshoe for par on the 18th hole. I was just like, whatever. But yeah, 6 birdies. My favorite of the whole thing. Phil is playing behind us with Chris Dens, and we get to the 10th hole. That's like 285, and it's downhill, downwind. And so I hit 3-wood thinking it was enough club, and it went about 5 or 6 yards over the green. And Phil comes up. He goes, you make it? And I just looked at him. I said, hey, man, once we get down the hill, you're good to hit driver. It'll be fine.
Poor Phil.
Yeah, he got a little mad at me for that. But
Matt,
It is what it
they have their clubhouse open now. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
Really cool place. Cutalong, owned by the same company that owns another golf course that our APT members, think is just okay, named Black Desert.
Yep.
Just saying.
yeah.
Cutalong is an absolute must if you're looking for a fun little weekend getaway. Absolutely circling Cutalong on the schedule is a place I want to play.
That golf course, you know what you're into when you see the first green. You get to the first green, you're like, oh, it's going to be one of those.
Oh, Jody, probably since you played it, they have actually redone number 1.
Okay, did they soften that green a little bit?
They softened that green up a little bit. It's not as
Yeah.
crazy as it was.
With all 4 ledges on it where it's stepping down away from you as you
Yeah,
go.
they fixed that up a little bit because they said they had so many complaints from the members.
Right.
Well,
So
I
they
can
fixed
imagine
that
why.
one a little bit. But they still have, I think it's 12 or 13. It's still got the real crazy clover.
The par
green.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So much fun.
Yeah.
Such a good golf course. So talk about great golf courses on the local level that you can take advantage of. That is absolutely one, because when it grows in and they get all their property around it, it's going to be very elite and very, very private. So take advantage of it now. What a great piece of property. So
Hey, before we get off of here, I do want to give a shout out to APT member and my good buddy, Mayor of Dixon, Donnie Weiss. Played with him today, and he shot his age at Greystone.
wow.
Woo.
8 birdies.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
It was a beauty to watch. It was fun.
Hey,
My boy was dialed.
Greystone's tough. Greystone's a tough golf course.
Just please tell him he rolled into 8. He goes, I am the mayor of this town.
I own this place.
So anyways, we got a couple minutes for questions. Anybody's got any? I know we asked a little bit about the North American Championship. Just to recap, September 19th through 21st is the Open. September 23rd and 24th is the Senior. Priority exemption invites will go out July 9th, a little bit less than a month. So all those points over the next month are really important if you're trying to get into those invite positions. You got 360 spots for the Open. We got 240 for the Senior. Couple changes for this year. The Senior is going to look a lot like the Open with one less round. So everybody was like, hey, man, I want the Senior to be more like the Open. You got it. It's going to be different swag, different things, but it's going to be the same level across the board. It's going to be a lot of fun. All kinds of events, both are at Reunion Resorts. Swag is on board for the North American Championship. I'm just saying the T-Gift's going to be good, Arthur.
I know it is. Anything from them cats, man, it's got to be a funky design. Them things look good, though. I seen those head coats. They're awesome.
So I need to record that and send that to them.
I'm mad I missed Black Desert and I didn't get a head cover from Black Desert. That's what I'm mad about.
Yeah.
One of the guys I played with, they showing us. I was like, man, that's freaking awesome, man.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. Invites come out for North American Championship. There's not a room requirement. Everybody asked. We're going to talk a lot about hotel rooms and house rentals and all that at Reunion. It's all on you. If you want to stay to Marriott, stay to Marriott. If you want to be Lingenfelter and find some bed and breakfast that nobody's ever heard before and doesn't have a phone number, we're okay with that too. It's completely fine. But we got some great room rates at Reunion. Everything's going to be right there. You don't have to leave. Makes it super easy. I'm sorry, Lingy. I'm just waiting for him to comment in the chat. So it is coming up to Annbriar weekend where he pretty much rents out the whole of this little motel in downtown Waterloo is like the Lingenfelter Inn for the next weekend.
Well, at least he's not sharing it with a guy from Las Vegas.
There you go. I
Who
thought you
shall
were going
be
to make
unnamed.
It's fair. Completely fair. So, well, if there are no questions, I guess we covered everything. Look at us.
Love it.
So we'll see y'all next week. We'll be live from St. Louis. So we'll be hearing from good friend Kevin Schaefer, pro at Annbriar. We'll probably get Jay Delsing maybe come on the horn. We're going to have some fun next week, so it'll be a good time. And but appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry about the week hiatus last week. A little travel got in the way on the Thursday, trying to get to Phoenix and all that good stuff. But we will see you guys next Thursday. John, Arthur, thanks for joining us. Jody, it's always good to see you, my friends.
Thank you.
See you, boys.
Thanks for having me.
Celebrate Father's Day this year at Worldwide Golf. From clubs to golf balls, shoes, plus free shipping. We've got deals in every category. Looking for a deal under $100? We've got you covered with amazing deals on apparel, headwear, and GPS devices. Need ideas this Father's Day? We have gift cards and our online gift guide at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to our legendary 90-day, 100% satisfaction guarantee.